everyone, and welcome again to Franchise Vibes. Thank you for joining us today. And today, the vibes we're on is empowerment vibes. So, we're going to be discussing Black entrepreneurship and franchising with Vern Thomas. Thank you, Vern, for joining us today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Just to introduce myself, my name is Vern Thomas. I've been a chef professionally for over 30 years. I'm originally from St. Thomas in the United States Virgin Islands. And, looking forward to a great opportunity to grow Virgin Island Thyme into a national brand.
Awesome, awesome. So, tell us about what inspired you to start Virgin Island Thyme and how did it evolve into a franchise opportunity?
Well, I mean, I've been inspired to start Virgin Island Thyme just based on my background, growing up in the Caribbean, always had a passion and love for Caribbean inspired food. And, as a chef professionally in corporate America, I've been able to create and develop menus, recipes, and systems for large national restaurant chains. And, it came to a point where I felt like I needed to take this step and, follow my passion and do it for myself. And my son and I, decided to open up Virgin Island Thyme in 2017. And what followed were great reviews, raving customers, and the awards and recognition followed, and we're just ready to expand.
Okay, great. Well, what was the turning point that made you decide to franchise your concept?
Well, I felt like we wanted to grow, and it was a much better model to grow with franchise partners versus trying to run multiple locations on our own. And it's a very demanding industry as far as the time it takes from you and between work-life balance and being there for your family. And for us, the model of having a great system and being able to partner with franchise owners, we felt was much better for long-term growth. Where our goal would be in 5 years, 5 to 10 years, we could have maybe 50 or more locations. So I think this is a large goal and something that would be better accomplished using a franchise model versus trying to do it all on your own.
So, can you tell us a little bit more what makes Virgin Island Thyme unique and appealing for prospective franchisees?
Well, I think first off, in the Caribbean space, the United States Virgin Islands, it's known as the American Paradise. And the culture, the food is absolutely amazing. I think a lot of the time in the mainland, in the States, whenever you think Caribbean, a lot of people just think about Jamaican restaurants, and I mean, Jamaican restaurants are nice, but I think that, focusing on a concept that is embracing Virgin Islands cuisine, as well as cuisine from some of the other islands in the Caribbean as well, I think brings a uniqueness to us. And I think just based on, the feedback from our everyday customers, from local food critics. I mean, we actually were awarded Best Caribbean Restaurant in Orlando, Florida for the last couple of years in a row. By the Orlando Sentinel, which is like our major newspaper and local food critics.
Okay. So, what were some of the challenges you faced while transitioning to franchising, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I think a lot of it's a long process, so and it's a lot to get educated about because it's not as simple as if you're just trying to open up one more location. There's a lot of legal paperwork and things that you need professional support. Um, First thing that we tried to focus on was trademarking our name and our likeness. So just the trademark process alone with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office took like over a year to do just alone. And then in addition to that, finding the right franchise attorneys to help you to draft your franchise disclosure document. Not all franchise attorneys are created equal, and it's good to have a strong partner that would help you to draft the documents and also support you along your franchise journey.
Right, right. So, how do you support new franchisees to ensure their success within your brand?
Well, one of the things that we do is we provide our operations manual that really details every step of the way of what it takes to open, run, and operate Virgin Island Thyme successfully. In addition to that, we also help with opening support. So during the opening, we're there for a week with our franchisees to help them to, you know, get all the questions answered, to be able to help if there's any additional training that's needed with the staff, to make sure that they have a smooth transition opening the doors. And in the restaurant industry, it's kind of known as a honeymoon period when you open for the first few months, where everybody wants to try you. So it is a little bit more of a challenge because a lot of the times you have a lot of volume right from the start.
Oh, wow.
And, I think that having the support there um, from me and my team just really helps to make the opening transition a lot easier.
Well, I'm definitely biased because, of course, I love Caribbean food. Well, you should know that my family's from Trinidad. So, as a Black entrepreneur, what does it mean to you to be a leader in the franchising space? And how do you ensure your franchise continues to support diversity?
Well, I think as a Black entrepreneur and culinarian, first off, like, you really want to be able to make your mark in the franchise and the restaurant industry, and a lot of the times, we always don't have enough representation in ownership. And I think sometimes just like the transition of being an owner versus like working for a company is a shift mentally that you have to be ready to step into. And I think as far as different things that we do to help support the community and our teams, we really help to also provide mentorship and coaching for a lot of our team members that work with us. And our concept is relatively simple to the point where you don't have to be a chef to own and run and operate Virgin Island Thyme. Most of our team members are high school students, college students. Some of them never cooked a day in their life before. And with all of the systems that we've developed that has been proven, it just really helps that within a few weeks, they're cooking award-winning food.
Mm. And that's important and actually something to note because I know just in doing what I do, as far as helping match franchisees with franchisors, with different businesses, when it comes to the restaurant industry, it tends to be more inventory, maybe more staffing and things like that. But with this concept, it's actually a little more simplified than you would think for the type of food. Is there anything else
Yes,
more you want to say about that?
I agree. I mean, just from a staffing level, I mean, we could run a shift with as small as like 2 or 3 people,
Mm,
and it's been engineered that way to keep it simple, to make sure that a lot of our ingredients and recipes cross-utilize different things. So you don't have a whole lot of excessive preparation and a whole lot of things that, help sometimes create waste and it creates complexity. So, and like I was saying, in my background in corporate America before I decided to, open up Virgin Island Thyme, I focus a lot on research and development and creation of menus, recipes, procedures, standards, that helps to operate a lot of the large multi-million dollar corporate restaurants in the industry. So a
mhm,
lot of that knowledge I was able to, use for creating my own concept to the point where the systems are fine-tuned to the point where simplicity is golden, and all the recipes, procedures, everything is to the point where you know I could open up the restaurant by myself in 1 hour,
mm,
you know and
mm,
you know we only have like one prep cook that would do certain recipes that needs to be prepared fresh daily, and then we have 1 to 2 cooks for lunch or for dinner, a dishwasher, and that's it, and a cashier. And a lot of the times, you only have, one cook, one cashier, and or 2 cooks and a cashier, and that's enough. At
mm,
nighttime is when the dishwasher comes in to help with the cleaning, and you know, like a standard day, it's enjoyable.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, also what I failed to mention too, what's also known in the restaurant industry is a lot of time, at least from what I've seen, they want you to have like that restaurant experience. So it's great to know that it's open to people who don't have that direct experience as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you would need to be able to pass like the certifications that's needed for food handling and
Hmm.
food safety, something that most state health departments would require. So you need to have some knowledge, and that's stuff that you can learn. But as far as being like a classically trained chef is not really necessary. And
Right.
it's just to the point where you follow the recipes, you follow the procedures that are all laid out for a team, and you'll have lines to the door. I mean, it's just that great.
Awesome. How does Virgin Island Time give back to local communities or stay rooted in its cultural heritage?
Well, a couple ways. I mean, one of the things that we do a lot is we partner with our local church, St. Mark AME Church, and we do multiple different catering events for them as well. Also one of the things that I've been really looking at is trying to put together like culinary workshops where we can help to educate, Black-owned restaurateurs about a lot of those systems and all of those procedures that help to make their restaurants run more efficiently. Because I think sometimes with a lot of the smaller restaurants, sometimes, a lot of those like corporate systems aren't really, you know, shared that well as far as, recipe development, costing, marketing, and the list goes on. Just the systems to really run everything where it's costed down to the penny, where it's, designed in a way where, it's not just like people back there just cooking, like, every aspect of your restaurant. And that's what really helps to separate restaurants that do well and restaurants that fail in a few years, so without those systems, it makes it that much more difficult.
Mm. So where do you see Virgin Island Time in the next 5 years? And what's your ultimate goal for the brand?
Well, I would like in the next, I would say 5 to 10 years, I would like to see if we can get to at least 50 restaurants, and I think that it's very doable that we could break 100 restaurants as our long-term goal. Right now, we're actively franchising in over 30 states. We're offering the opportunity, and we've already had a lot of interest. And
Mm.
right now we're just getting ready for 2025, and getting ready to be there to support any potential franchisees that want to learn more and potentially become part of the family.
Awesome. What advice would you give to other Black entrepreneurs who want to break into franchising, either as a franchisor or a franchisee?
Well, the first thing I would say is that you have to believe in yourself, and be willing to step out of your comfort zone, because a lot of the times, I think fear sometimes just kind of paralyzes us from achieving our ultimate potential.
Yeah.
And I would say also too that it's just something where you know I feel like sometimes risk is something that people always kind of are concerned about. And a long time ago, a wise man told me it's only a risk if you don't know what you're doing. So get educated, learn every aspect of your trade, and make sure that when you get to that point that that you're ready to do what needs to be done. I'm also someone that is very spiritual, and I believe in God and faith. And I feel also too that a lot of the times you put your best foot forward, you live right, and opportunities open for you. Sometimes I think the Father will kind of create opportunities that you can't even see it yet, but it's in the works. But you have to believe.
Yeah, I love that. So what has been the most rewarding part of your journey as a franchisor so far?
Well, I think part of the most rewarding part for me is that my son is doing this whole thing with me, and he's part of the journey. And one of the things in our community that we need to be focused on is generational wealth, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that focusing on ownership and looking at, you know, the potential of what we can achieve, you know, the sky's the limit. I think a lot of the times the traditional path is, you know, go to college, get a degree, go try and get someone to hire you, and hopefully 30 years later you could retire. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that, you know, there's a different path where if we focus on ownership, we focus on growing a concept like we're trying to do. I think that we could achieve a lot more than the traditional path.
That's great. And that transitions very well into my last wrap-up question for you, which would be, what's the one piece of advice you'd share to someone who's considering your franchise specifically?
Well, I would say that, you know, make sure it's something that you love and have passion for, because, you know, there's times when things may be beautiful and nice, and there might be times when it gets tough. And
Mm-hmm.
you need to be able to love what you're doing to the point where you're willing to do what needs to be done to achieve success.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vern, for this. Vern, I love your concept. I love the food, of course. Again, I am biased, but I think a lot of people love Caribbean food. And if that is your passion, just remember that you can reach out to me so that we can get you started on the path to see if this is the right opportunity for you. So thank you again, Vern, for joining us today on Franchise Vibes. And until the next time, everybody, take
All
care.
right, thank you. Have a good one.